Hey everyone, we are back for session 2 of the Ravelry Masterclass. My name is Sarah with knitwithsarah.com, and today we are going to go over the notebook tab and how to organize your favorites. So just a quick little note here. This is session 2 of the Masterclass on Ravelry, so if you are just joining us and you haven't seen session 1, I'm going to leave a little link in the top upper right hand corner there. You can go back and watch session 1 where I go over how to initially log in and how to set up your profile. But if you want to go ahead and get started with the notebook tab, let's get to it. So up here, big green bar, today we're going to focus right over here, the notebook. So when you click on this, a big old drop down menu comes down. So we are going to, hold on, let me go back to the home page here. Okay, so this big tab here is your personal corner of Ravelry. Every single tab, every single link in this tab, you could think of the pronoun my in front of it. These are my projects, this is my stash, this is my queue, etc., etc. So we'll just go over this one at a time. So the project tab is where you go to organize all the projects that you are currently working on and also the projects that you have completed. So you can enter the particulars of any project you're currently working on, and then once those projects are completed, they will also be accessible from this menu. If you go to Stash, knitters and crocheters lovingly refer to their personal collection of yarn as their stash. So this is where you can digitally have an inventory of all of the yarn that you personally possess. It makes pattern searching that much more powerful because the website will already know the yarn that you have when you're searching for patterns. So you can input all that here in your yarn stash. The queue, I like to think of this as a holding place for the projects that you're pretty sure you're going to start and cast on next after your current projects are finished. So I like to think of the queue as kind of like, if you're a baseball fan, you can think of it as the bullpen where the pitchers go to warm up before they hit the field, or if you're a theater fan, you can think of the queue as kind of like the green room where the actors hang out before they hit the stage. So this is kind of the place where you put projects that you're pretty sure you're going to cast on next. It's an easy and quick way to access those projects. So the favorites is kind of the central location where you can keep all of the projects, patterns, yarns, and designers that you like on Ravelry. There's a little heart icon on every single clickable item on the website. If you click on that heart, it's going to end up here. So this is kind of a catch-all area, and this section can get quite overwhelming if you don't, if you're not careful. So you can also bundle things into categories, into like items. So you can bundle hats together, you can bundle kids stuff together, whatever way works for you. You can put in bundles, and I highly recommend doing that, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Friends, this is where you're going to have a list of all of your friends, all of your Rav friends on Ravelry. So you can see even in my test profile, there's been a couple people that have already added me as a friend. For groups and events, because my test profile doesn't belong to any group, so nothing is going to show up there. But once you update your profile and add a location, this area will populate with any sort of events in your area that have been uploaded to Ravelry. That'll be here in the Groups and Events tab. Needles and hooks operates very similarly to the stash tab. This is where you can keep a digital inventory of all of the needles you have. This is really helpful when you're out and about, when you're at a yarn shop, you're looking for a new project, you've got your pattern, and you think, oh, now do I have a pair of size 9 26-inch circulars? Maybe they're 20-inch. I don't know, I don't remember. So you can just log right into Ravelry and say, oh wait, actually I do have 24-inch size 9s. boom, there they are. So that makes it really easy, and it prevents you from double purchasing stuff, which is very handy. The library is where all of the patterns that you have purchased or downloaded will all be in this section. So I typically save this area just for that, just for stuff that I have bought or stuff that I am currently working on or need the pattern downloaded. I also like to use a knitting app for my patterns called Knit Companion. And when you sync Knit Companion with Ravelry, Knit Companion's only going to be able to see the patterns that you have in your library. So keep that in mind if you use a pattern app like Knit Companion. The message box is kind of like your email box for Ravelry. This is a great way to reach out to designers if you have a question about a pattern of theirs that you are working on, or if you want to contact anybody anonymously, well, not anonymously, but privately outside of the forums, then you would use the message box. Contributions is where you would go to, let's say you've designed your own pattern that you want to upload to the site, or you're an indie dyer and you're dyeing yarn and you want to add that to the site. You put that here. Purchases is another place where you can see, kind of like the library, but the library will store free Ravelry downloads and purchased products. So if you want to see just the things that you've purchased, that'll be populated here. And a lot of times they'll send you the PDF download as a receipt. So if you want to access that again, that'll be available in this area also. Last thing is upload a photo. There's lots of areas in Ravelry that give you the option to upload a photo, but if you want to kind of shortcut it, let's say you finished your project, you have a bunch of photos that you want to upload right away, but that's the only thing you want to do is upload a photo, then you can go to this tab here, click that. You'll upload the photo, and then it will ask you where you want it to go. Is this a stash photo that you want to add to your stash? Is this a project photo you want to add to your projects? So this is kind of a shortcut way to upload your photos. So that was kind of a quick rundown. Whew, I know that is a lot of information in this little tab. This deceptively small little tab holds a lot of information. So I know that can be a little overwhelming for people, but don't worry. Over the course of the time we'll spend together in this masterclass, we'll probably touch on every single one of these tabs in some form or another. Like I said before, I really always think of the pronoun my when I'm looking at this tab. These are my projects. This is my stash. This is my queue, and so on and so on. Just kind of helps reiterate that this stuff is just the stuff that I save, just the stuff that I interact with will be available here. So next we're going to take a closer look, kind of a deep dive into the favorites tab. All right, guys, now we're going to talk about favorites, and I'm going to walk you through how I add favorites when I'm browsing Ravelry. So we're going to go over to Notebook. We're going to click on that down to favorites. And because this is my test profile, you can see that it's empty. There's nothing favorited. So we're going to find some awesome stuff to add to our favorites. Let's start with some patterns. So we'll click on over to the pattern tab. And we'll just browse and see what strikes our fancy. So let's start with some cardigans. And this is just, it's going to populate the most popular ones that other people are saving and tagging right now. So we can scroll through that. And I like this featherweight cardigan. So we're going to go ahead and add that. We click on it. We can go ahead and add it to our favorites by clicking this link right here. Go ahead and click on that. This window is going to pop up. That's going to show you either a field where you can fill in a note, a field where you can add in a tag, or a button where you can add it to a bundle. So I'm going to show you how I work with each one of these fields. So in my notes, I like to say who I'm going to knit this for. So if this is something that I'm going to knit for myself or as a gift for somebody else, I usually will add that from the get-go, so I have lots of options when I come back to find a new project. So I really like this particular cardigan for myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and type that in. And then as a tag, I'm gonna put myself, add a comma, and then I'm gonna put next, because I said here, possibly I wanna do this next. So this is going to allow me to search that I've tagged this as something that I might wanna cast on as my next project. And then I also want to add it to a bundle. I don't have any bundles here. Once you create bundles, they'll be populated in this space here. But since I don't have any, we're going to create a new one, and I'm going to name it sweaters. All right, so we're going to add it to sweaters. See how it's bordered in red? That means that that has been selected. And then we're going to hit save. So if you want to see how that looks in your favorites tab, you can come back here, click on favorites, and you can see here that I have a bundle now of sweaters where that cardigan is located, and then I also have the featherweight cardigan saved in this area. And you can see here that my two tags for myself and next are both located there. So let's go ahead and do that once or twice more with a couple different patterns. So we'll just look at some cowls here. That one looks really nice. So we're going to click on that. We're going to add that to our favorites. Okay, so for this cowl, I'm going to add a couple tags. I think that this would look really nice on my friend Alex, so I'm going to type in her name, and then I think I might want to give this to her for Christmas. So I'm going to put those two tags in there. I don't have a bundle to save this in, so I'm going to add a new bundle, and I'm going to name it accessories. All right, so we see the red border there, which means it's going to be saved to accessories. We've got at least two tags, which is what I recommend. Whenever you're saving any favorites, always try to add at least one tag, and then you hit save. All right, let's find one more thing we want to add. All right, so we'll go to shawls. Let's find a nice shawl to add. Oh wow, these are all so pretty. How about this one? All right, we pull up the pattern, add to our favorites. This one I want to save for my mom. And then possibly for myself too, because I think that that's really pretty. And we can add it to our accessories bundle and hit save. All right. So now I just want to go over with you just how to organize this so it looks a little bit better. So when this is highlighted, you're going to see everything. You're going to see the bundles, and you're going to see the individual patterns listed. So I usually go by the bundles. So once you have everything categorized, this will all be very cleanly laid out for you, and it will be much easier to see. If you want to search via your tags, you just click up over here, and then you can see here I have all the tags I have listed here populated in alphabetical order. So let's say I want to come back now. I know that I tagged something that I want to knit for my friend Alex, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. So we just come over to my notebook, click favorites. You're going to click the tags to make sure that's highlighted, and then, oh, there she is. Okay, oh, yeah, now I remember. This cowl is the one I wanted to knit her for Christmas. Easy peasy. It makes things incredibly user-friendly to navigate if you save your favorites in this way. So what I want you to do is go ahead and log into your Ravelry account. I want you to start browsing. I'm giving you permission to browse the site and add anything that looks interesting to you, intriguing to you, something that strikes your fancy, add it to your favorites. But as you're saving things, I want to make sure that you're adding tags, because that's going to make it much easier on the back end for you to find it again. So good luck. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions, comments, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me on social media. I'm at Knit with Sarah everywhere, or you can send me an email at hello@knitwithsarah.com, and I will see you guys in the next session. Talk to you later.